time right now. You know, I done seen so many things in my life, so many issues, so many challenges, so many opportunities, and one of the things that keeps popping into my mind, and I continue to believe this, is, you know, we need mentors, we need coaches, we need people who can help provide us a blueprint, give us some insight, give us some food for thought, something to really process so we can continue to change and grow. Those of you who know me know that I really was on pace to becoming one of the top speakers in the world, all over. And unfortunately, so many things happened to me, man, that really made me look deep inside of who I am. But don't be fooled. I'm honoring God now. I know that for sure. And there's so many things that really impact us. And when I say it impacts us, you know, it separates us. And so there's a couple things I want to share with you, and I want to share because, you know, there was a number of things that I've already seen in my personal life, my personal journey, that challenged me to grow, challenged me to change, challenged me to develop, challenged me to be who I was supposed to be a long time ago. And the first thing I want to talk about, and people who really know me, who don't just have a fake relationship or a phony relationship, who really have gotten the chance to connect with me, will understand, you know, I had a brain aneurysm. I'm blessed that I didn't pass from the brain aneurysm. I was getting ready to fly to Scottsdale, Arizona to do a training for a nationwide organization, and I just had blood coming out of my nose. And I say that because, you know, I thought that I could figure out what was wrong with me, so I just did something simple like ice my nose, thinking that I was just bleeding randomly. But I ended up going to the hospital, and they ended up taking a look and found out that the inside of my brain had burst and I was bleeding, and it came out of my nose. I want you to think about that for a second. Face, experience, come close to dying, to passing away. But I didn't. And then a few years later, I ended up having a skin disease called cellulitis. Ended up being on my left calf. And you know, I didn't really know what it was. I just know that my leg was hurting extremely bad for like 2 or 3 days, and I still didn't know what was going on. Ended up going to the doctor again, which is super important, to give you a little bit of background on cellulitis. Cellulitis gets into your bloodstream. Unfortunately, you die. And so I ended up taking some antibiotics. Couldn't walk for a while, had to rest my leg, had people giving me all type of creams and stuff to try to help me recover, and because that was the second time that I almost lost my life. Then I had a stroke, 2017. Pretty big deal for me. Those of you who know me know that I'm a speaker. I communicate at a pretty high level. And the fact that I couldn't communicate for about 6 weeks, words were all jumbled, my mind wasn't right, couldn't really process stuff, really challenged me in multiple ways and really showed my spirit and who I am. And the fact that I was able to recover from that was really a game changer in my mind. Because when you come back from having a stroke, and if you look at me, you wouldn't think that I had a stroke. You wouldn't even know that I had two of them, to be totally honest. And then I ended up having a defibrillator put into my chest. I used to be the head basketball coach at a local high school in the Treasure Valley in Idaho. You know, I learned something about politics, about the world, about people, about judgment, about how people will, if they don't think you have anything left, they'll let you go. But they let me go because the principal in the athletic director said it was my body of work. I think that's interesting because the history of me is that I find ways to still recover even when things don't look right, when things don't look good, when things are challenging. My self-belief and just won't let me give up. That's just not my spirit. Then I had heart surgery. And I say this because when you have heart surgery, people say that you change from a mental perspective, from a mindset perspective. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, you do. Things that used to not be as important to me have a lot of value to me now. And so if you're in my circle, if we have a relationship, if we're family, if we're close, then we really family. If we not, I don't need you in my life, just so you know. I think some people are confused. There's 8 billion people on this planet. Sometimes family may not even be family. So don't get confused. It can happen to anybody. I had blood clots throughout my entire body, and they were trying to make sure that the blood clots didn't go into my heart or make me have another stroke and go into my brain. And again, when I say blood clots, I mean, we're talking about you're putting your life on the line again. And I think the biggest thing that pops out is, you know, everything that I face, all of the challenges that I've been through. One of the things that keeps resonating with me, and I'm going to keep sharing this, and those of you who are watching this video, I want you to take this and think about this. I never gave up on my faith. Even though I was going through all of these challenges, from a health perspective, from a mindset perspective, and I had back surgery, L1, L5, and I remember sitting in a reclining chair at my home for 3 months, couldn't get out of my chair. And I want to share this because this was the first time that I became suicidal. I had suicidal ideology. And unfortunately, I always say this because I think God still had his hand on me. Because for me, my family had went on vacation, and I was at the house by myself, and I remember thinking to myself, am I bringing anything to the table? Why am I still here? The irony is I prayed to God and asked him if it was time for me to call it a day. And God told me no. And I want to make sure people understand how important it is to talk about having conversations about mental health, especially with men. And people don't want to hear the numbers, but the truth is 700,000 men every year commit suicide. That's 60,000 a month. That's 2,000 a week. Every 4 seconds, 3 out of 4 people who commit suicide are men. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 people just committed suicide. They're all men. I just think we got to really have conversations about mental health and how it's impacting the male community and how people are being impacted. And then the last thing I want to share, which I think is powerful, is I had COVID-19. And I lost a lot of friends from COVID-19. The first girl that I kissed when I grew up in Ypsilanti, Michigan, Nikki, she passed. One of my good friends, he passed. One of my mentors, one of the people who influenced me to become a motivational speaker, Milton Crea, he passed. And I asked myself, out of all those people who I had a relationship with, why didn't I pass? Well, because I got a message. And I'm about to share this message with the entire world. I hope you join me on this journey. I appreciate you taking your time and tuning in.